as I said about the function words and the content words in the language, each language, or the English language, will have two, which is the content words and the function words. Function words are like prepositions, conjunctions, and the articles. Of course, prepositions can be also be considered content words when they are used as verbs, like he's in, meaning he is in, or in and out all the time. In and out means يدخل ويخرج طول الوقت. So it can be content words as well, sometimes the prepositions. Up and down, again another. Now let's move on to the grammar. I've got a few things about the grammatical or grammar equivalence. As I said, the grammar is rules, and there are notional categories, which are basic notions, but they're not universal. And these are relating to time, number, and gender. And what is more important for me is duality and plurality, because in English there's only singular and plural, but there is dual in Arabic, which is not there in the English. So we have to be careful when we are translating. Sometimes they say they, and they mean two people, huma. They are good, huma mahiran. And it can be huna mahiran, depending on the context, or it can be hum mahirun if there are plural, if they are referring to plural. And in Japanese, apparently, they have not only dual, but they have a triad or triad. In other words, three as opposed to plural. So they've got singular, plural, singular, dual, triads, and plural. But in Arabic, you've got only two, dual and plural, as opposed to singular. Now, there is also another element about the gender. Here, in Arabic, it's more than in English, because feminine and masculine and animate and inanimate, these are relating to some words, like, for example, mare and stallion. Okay? Al-Hisan, of course, Al-Jawad, mare being Al-Faras. Al-Faras can be male and female. By the way, in Arabic, there are words that are male and female as well. And this is yet another element about male and female, where we've got the word, for example, طريق is male and female in Arabic. هذه الطريق وهذا الطريق. أنا في الطريق. طريق طويلة وطريق طويل. مستشفى male and female. Can be هذه المستشفى وهذا المستشفى. السوق هذا السوق وهذه السوق. الكرسي هذا الكرسي وهذه الكرسي. So there are some that are masculine and feminine in Arabic as well, which can be, but you have to be consistent. If you use هذه المستشفى, you should carry on with هذه المستشفى as feminine. You cannot change it to masculine and feminine all the time. Al-Faras can be male and female in Arabic as well. So in English, there's you and ram. Ram is the male and you is the female in Naja. وَالتيس. And then son and daughter, of course, we know that. And then the cow and the bull, a thawr, an actor and actress, and these are male and female. We have to be very careful because sometimes الشمس هذه الشمس بينما القمر هو مذكر, but in Arabic. And sometimes in some languages they can be the opposite. In other words, sun is male and moon is female. This is for the gender. And also for the male and female, you have to be very careful because sometimes they say spokesman and spokeswoman, al-mutahadditha wal-mutahaddith, chairman and chairperson. And these are just about the gender themselves. Also, the word you is problematic in Arabic more than in English, actually. In Arabic, you can say you to mean anta, as in singular, addressing second person singular, or antom, as in, this is similar for the French. In the French, you say vous and tu is for you as a person singular, and second person singular, or as a plural. But of course, vous is more respectful, more formal, more polite to say. The same is in Arabic. But the word you in Arabic is more problematic than in English. because the word you can mean can have 5 meanings to it. أنت, أنتِ, أنتما, أنتم, أنتن. So you see, it can actually refer to quite a lot, 5 different variations. And you have to be careful when you are addressing as to which one. Then there is the they in English, which is, as we are talking about, they and it. And it also can be هذا وهذه. يعني it القطة هي. And it can be, if it's a tom cat, هو. So it can be it for male and masculine and feminine as well. Also the word company, for example, when they say they decided in the company, and they are referring to they, طبعا you can say القائمون على الشركة قرروا أو قررت الشركة. يعني you can go to the singular وهي يعني الشركة, unless you want to say القائمون على الشركة, and this is another element of that. So it's a problem of here. There is another problem which is about the gender shift, and that is in the example at the very bottom here. You can see it here. الجمل سفينة الصحراء. So of course here you can say الجمل هو سفينة الصحراء والجمل هي سفينة الصحراء, following the actual shift in gender, because safina is feminine, so you can say هي, or you can go for jamal and then you say huwa, and that is relating to the gender here. Passive voice and active voice, of course, in Arabic, more usually it's more active than passive they use in Arabic. Also, there's an issue about the imperative verbs in Arabic. For example, you say drink water as an order. You can say اشرب الماء if it's male, or اشربي الماء, أو اشربنا الماء. So where اشربوا الماء, يعني it's an order for the plural as well. So it is very problematic, because you need to know if it's masculine being addressed or feminine when it's an imperative thing. Especially if you are actually translating something for a hospital, where they say to pregnant women, they say drink a lot of water before the scan. Of course, you have to say اشربي, because you're talking only the females, because you're addressing only females. You can't say اشرب الماء قبل المسح الضوئي للحمل. So this is, you have to be very careful with that in terms of that. Of course, in terms of aspects, you have to be looking at the present and the past. You have to be very careful with the present and the past. And also, you've got the modals and modality meanings. Have to is not the same as must. Must la budda, it's law. But have to, it's just a matter of advice to giving to some other people, which they might and might not do. And can maybe 50% possibility, and maybe more than 50% in the meaning. Again, in terms of word order, you have to be careful, because the word order in English, it's where the adjective comes before the verb, and we know that the adjectives are more before than after the noun, whereas in Arabic it's after the noun. يعني رداء أصفر مثلا. Finally, about grammatical equivalence, of course, you might create very good equivalence in grammatically. And here is Debo Grant and Dressler saying that it is much more straightforward to decide what constitutes a grammatical or acceptable sentence than what constitutes a grammatical or acceptable sentence sequence, or paragraph, or text, or discourse. So this means that what is acceptable, let me just put it this way. What is acceptable, okay, in the a sentence which is grammatically correct may not be acceptable. You know, you can say, for example, you can say the girl is playing in the garden, but you can't say the garden is playing with a girl. Okay, so if you say the garden is playing with a girl, it might sound it is correct grammatically, but it doesn't make sense. So it's not acceptable, in terms of meaning. So it's not a matter of just grammatically correct. it has to make sense. It has to be acceptable. And of course, in terms of order, word order, in English, it's different from the word order in Arabic. So you have to be paying attention to the TL grammar when you are translating, and not worry just too much on the source text grammar, because you are actually, after all, producing a target text language and not a source text language at the end of the day, and you need to accept that kind of level of grammar which is being done there. And of course, that's there's also an element about cohesion, and I will talk about that in the next video. Thank you.